Reddit did to do and welcome into more important issues. It is Monday, August 24th. We've got a short show for you guys today, so we're gonna scratch the Ross Kivett interview. But good news, Landon, he'll be on Wednesday. So
it will be here on Wednesday. We'll have him on longer on Wednesday. We wanted to do that. We didn't want to cut him short, so we want to get him on for a longer episode.
Exactly. So make sure you join us on Wednesday and get to hear about Vol baseball and Ross Kivett. It's gonna be a good time. We got a short show, and I know nobody wants a short show. Nobody does. But the good news about it is Volunteer Roadshow right after we're done. Alexis Hornbuckle on Unfiltered is going to be on. So,
yep.
A little twofer tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
We had to reschedule our Sunday, so a little twofer tonight. You do get some more important issues. That's the good news. We are talking about Tennessee practice news, team news, football news, basketball news. A lot going on campus with everything kind of starting to settle into normal. JT Shrout, is he the number 2 guy? Because that's the rumor.
I mean, let's just get right into it. I mean, that's because we were talking like he could be number 4. But with Harrison Bailey in quarantine, not really having an opportunity to see the field. And then Brandon Kennedy mentioned all the quarterbacks, their mental processing has gone up. I mean, that's
competition.
Yeah.
Competition good competition breeds good results.
And I feel like that's kind of what kept JT back last year was just mental processing. Because his arm is there.
And I guess you could call that mental processing. I don't think he was like missing throws necessarily, but some maybe dumb errors. But yeah, I guess chalk it up to mental processing. Yeah. But I do think there were some dumb errors there. I mentioned a couple weeks ago I almost got in a fight kneeling for him. Love you, JT. I had your back no matter what. Speaking of maybe the next guy, we're going to talk about the X Factor. Who's the X Factor on this team? Tennessee being a top 25 ranked team, who is it? Then
that's
it feels good, doesn't it? It feels great. That. High school football is back. That also feels fantastic. A great weekend of high school football. There were some great games. Our guys, South Doyle, our guys in South Knoxville got it done against Fulton. Crazy stat. Did I tell you this Friday night?
I don't think so.
Crazy stat. South Doyle is 6-0 against Fulton.
All time?
All time.
Wow.
It's crazy they've only played 6 times. I mean, I guess South Doyle's only been out of school since the 90s, but
right. And they've always been in a different classification. Yeah, that is
insane.
Strange.
6-0. That is a wild stat. They padded on to that nice little victory column there on Friday, or Saturday night, excuse me. But it was a good weekend for high school football. We'll talk a little bit about that. That reminds me, I meant to do it this week. We'll put it off to next week. Any high school football fans, you got kids playing, or any high schoolers that are listening, send in your favorite play from the week. We'll show them on the show on Sundays. Send in your favorite play from Friday night. If I can get it up in time, I'm going to show you my favorite play from this weekend. It would have been the POW play had there not been a really good play made at South Doyle on Saturday. Yeah. So that was a phenomenal catch. Might show it if I can get it.
It was a good catch.
Also going to do most important of the week and fail of the week. You ready to go? I still got to play the intro because you know what we got to hear.
Okay,
let's do it. We're gonna get going. Let's first hear from good old Jerry Pruitt.
Vols are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
Woo-hoo! I love it, baby.
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Out by Tennessee to one Jennings. Jennings makes the...
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
You found a way, okay? All right, now, what I tell you, okay? All right, this decade is going to be the decade of the Vols. You got it?
That feels good.
Decade of Vols.
And I feel like coming off that, we got to go ahead and start talking about it. The Vols, after coming off the worst season in school history just 2 years ago, are ranked in the top 25. And not even like the...
And lost to Georgia State last year.
and lost to
not
Georgia.
Even a year ago.
It's fair. I wasn't going to talk about that. It's not that it's, not just playing the weak opponent, or you're not playing everybody in that top 25. Or sorry, not going against everybody for that ranking. Like it, which I liked it that the AP ranked everybody because you could. It's not like you... Just because they're not playing doesn't mean you couldn't rank them in week 0 because nobody's played a game yet.
Preseason.
So I like that they did that. I know some people are like, that's stupid, but I like it. It was cool to see.
There was a new ranking, like an adjusted one.
They did put everybody in there.
And we're 16th.
So, I do like that they did that, just to see where Tennessee stood against everybody, to see where everybody kind of stood at week 0. Once week 1 gets started, they'll fix that ranking, and it'll just be the ones that are playing. But Tennessee's top 25 for the Power 5 teams that are playing right now, number 16.
Number 16.
It's probably right. It is right, I guess, because all they did was pull those people out.
Yeah. Yeah, so you move up 9 spots.
Arkansas' schedule looks even worse.
Yep. So we would if in the adjusted one you would play 6 top 25 teams.
That's stupid.
Yep.
That is stupid. I feel bad for Arkansas. Arkansas got
because Kentucky would be one. Kentucky's like 20 or something like that.
They came in there. I think a bunch of people were upset that Kentucky was ranked over Louisville, or Louisville was ranked over Kentucky. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, because probably in the ACC, Louisville's going to have a better season than Kentucky.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and okay. Yes,
because they play ACC teams. We play.
I wasn't thinking that Kentucky would play all SEC teams when you said that. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're
not necessarily that Louisville is better than Kentucky, but they're probably going to have a better record.
Correct. I would agree with that. Oh, also, this is more important issues team news. We got more stickers.
More stickers.
Gonna go on sale soon. I got to figure out how to do that. I don't know if y'all can see these. I'll tweet out pictures. But they're small. They'll fit on your phone, your water bottle, whatever. This is Jawan Jennings. I'll post a picture later. Jawan Jennings catch. So.
And then we got our.
Why would you not want that
logo? Our little emblem.
Oh yeah, we got the die cut sticker. I think is what it's called of the emblem. Also fits on your phone, water bottle, etc. So
yeah.
Get them while they're hot off the press. Get them while they're.
I might do some giveaways one day.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see about that. More team news. Do you have more football? Because I'm kind of fresh on the basketball.
Yeah, so I mean,
there is more football, but
there is football, and just from what we're hearing from practice is, so they went under the lights Friday night.
Yeah.
So do you think that's a coincidence that they did it on Friday night?
What's the?
So they didn't go out after the fact.
Well, they probably still went out.
Probably, but maybe
actually
less of them did.
I don't know if they did. Like, I don't know how that's working because the chancellor is hard A about this.
And you're out.
Yeah, so
yeah, you get caught, you're out.
Which, not to say they're all smart, but hopefully they're smart enough to know that they may not get a ton of leeway just because they're a football player when it comes to that, because they're not messing around. Well, I'll say that. And did you see the fraternity was still doing their events in Circle Park on Sunday?
Huh.
Yeah, they were still doing them. Yep.
Oh. Well, good for them.
So I don't understand. Like, you can't have a house party, but you can still do a fraternity event.
Yeah.
And a bunch like fraternities responded like, "Oh, we were in face masks, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Couldn't you say that at parties you're required to wear face masks too?"
You could.
You could say that. I don't know if it'd be true. Christopher Cave said he was just at Neyland. Nice, lucky man. They're getting ready for some football down there. It's close, man. It's so close.
Yeah. Friday they're in Neyland.
Friday they played a scrimmage.
Yeah. And apparently, for what we heard this week, so JT Shrout looks like he's the number 2 behind JG. And we just heard a lot of good things from JT. Not necessarily that JG did bad or Brian Maurer did bad, but JT stood out among the quarterbacks.
And it's important to remember, because I think a lot of people are expecting Harrison Bailey to be that number 2 guy, if not number 1. It's important to remember Harrison Bailey has not practiced with the team to this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Since they've been back. He had 2 practices during the spring.
Sorry, during fall camp.
Right. Yes.
During fall camp. Yes. You're right.
So yeah, I mean we were talking about it on the show that JT could be number 4.
Yeah.
When you look at last season, he was
number 3 last year.
Yeah. And so you figured Harrison Bailey, but hey, I mean, if you see an opportunity, go get that.
Yeah. And we texted about it when it was first reported by, was it Volquest that said that?
Yeah. I think
whoever said he was probably number 2. We were texting about it, and I said I've always thought he was probably the more talented guy, not necessarily of Harrison Bailey, but of Brian Maurer and JG. And even when Keller Chris was here, I thought he was probably one of the more talented guys. But he hadn't played up until last year, and he still only played like 30 snaps maybe. But now at least he's gotten some time to play and see the field and maybe get a better understanding of what's going on, and that's going to help you a lot going forward. Now he's seen it. Now he's getting more competition. Same thing for JG. It's his second year in the system under James Chaney.
Yeah, and it's his third year on campus, so it's not like he's a new guy.
Right.
Hopefully he's just now figuring it out. This first week he's got a lot of praise for it. So we'll see if he can continue that. That's something to watch. I mean, like you said, at least it's competition.
That's the
Because
most
last year I
important
don't think there was a lot to really. That's why you kept putting JG back in, because there was no competition in practice.
part. Right. And you're getting older guys in there. You're getting older, at least somewhat talented guys in there. It's not just they've grown old at Tennessee just because they've been here. You're talking Brian Maurer was a starter for 2 games last year. JT Shrout, you could probably call him a starter for 1 game, got plenty of playing time. JG's obviously going to be competitive in terms of where they land in the depth chart. And then you got a guy in here that every fan expects to be starting by the end of the season. And they hear that. They hear that news. They know what's going on. They watch the highlight films. They know who's going to be coming in and competing against them. So it's definitely good for them to be challenged. And, if it's true what we're hearing, it just goes to show you what competition can do for somebody who might just not have been all completely there as far as it went up in the head.
Yep.
And now he's getting there.
Yep. Always good to hear. Also, I heard, so somebody told me this. Eric Gray has been impressive, of course.
Right.
Everybody's heard that. But I'm hearing, like, this could be Tennessee's Heisman candidate.
Eric Gray.
Maybe not this year.
I'm shocked
but,
none.
Yeah, but in the future, like, Eric Gray, like, in practice, he's impressing a lot of people where they're putting that up in the air.
Float it out. I like it.
Yeah. Eric Gray for Heisman.
We'll start the campaign.
Yeah.
Print the stickers.
Yep. I mean, we should. I mean, that's good to hear because, like, we talked about Todd Chandler and how he is a good back.
I think,
and for him to be your number 2 back and be, talented as he is, that's huge.
Yeah, and I think Eric Gray, the important thing to remember about him, because I jokingly was high on him, he looks like he could be a really good back. He has like 500 yards rushing his career. Didn't even start getting significant carries until the last 4 games of the season. Mm-hmm. So that's important to remember. He's got to take that next step really quick early on if he's going to be as impactful, because unless their philosophy changes, the coaches that are on staff, they're going to play whoever's running the ball the best, whether it be Todd Chandler, Eric Gray, or just blanked on his name. You heard his name this week from Brandon Kennedy and Eric Gray, right?
T. Hodge. T. Hodge. Yeah, I mean,
whoever's hot.
He's a different kind of back, and I think Eric Gray, when they recruited him, he was a different kind of back than they had on the roster.
Yeah,
a guy that can make plays, not just running the football, but any way you can get him the ball.
Right.
So
recovering onside kicks.
Yeah, sure. Anyway,
we watched the Indiana game on Saturday.
Yeah, just put it in his hands. Also hearing a lot for some freshmen. You mentioned T. Hodge. He's got a lot of praise. Jalen Hyatt, they're really impressed with him, not just because of his speed. That was obvious.
Speed kills.
Yeah, that was obvious. But he's an all-around receiver.
Yeah. But even when you know how fast someone is, like you even see that time, but you watch him play on a field against people, you're blown away. And
then your next go up and get it guy, Malachi Wideman.
Yeah, those dudes are freak athletes. So Malachi Wideman, D. Beckwith, and Jalen Hyatt, their athleticism is going to wow. It's kind of like the same thing we were talking about with Pons. If he could have gotten drafted this year, because if he goes and tries out for a team, he's going to wow you.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing with those guys. They're freak athleticism. When you see Jalen Hyatt burn past someone, it wows, because you know the guy he's playing against is fast, and it wows you. When you see Malachi Wideman go up and catch over a 6'1" guy who can jump just fine, it wows you. Mm-hmm. Same thing.
I didn't realize Jalen Hyatt was 6'2". I thought he was like 5'10", 5'11", but he's like a pretty decent sized receiver.
Yeah, and he's and burners. That's all I mean.
Yeah,
that's all he needs. That's all he needs.
Give him some daylight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Malachi Wideman, that's we've heard a lot about Jalen Hyatt, but we're hearing a lot about Malachi Wideman, just his ability to go up and get the football, and that's huge for this team because you lose 2 guys who went up and got the football in Juwan Jennings and Marquez Callaway. So I think that'll be big to get. And Josh Palmer's another one that can go up and get the ball.
Yeah.
He's proven that on different occasions. So that wide receiver group, it's a question mark because you don't really know exactly what you have. But I think there's a lot of talent there too.
Yeah, I think it's more a question of who's gonna fill the voids of who left.
Yep.
If they can necessarily this year. The good news is, like you said, you have a lot of talent. But real quick, I know we know this about Josh Palmer, but the thing that when I watch his film that is amazing to me is his ability to catch the ball when he goes in the air, not necessarily just over people. The catch against, I think it was Auburn, that stands out the most, where he goes almost completely horizontal to catch a ball. It's incredible.
Yep.
The way he's able to contort himself in the air.
Yeah. Athleticism, baby. It's crazy what we've gotten to. Like,
you're getting better athletes on. You're padding the roster a little bit.
I mean, I did a tweet today. In 2017, we had a converted tight end playing tackle. Started 4 games at tackle.
I like that.
For us. He was like 260.
I think we should have an open tryout like Invincible.
We should. You should go try out. In full pads.
I should, absolutely. Here's the thing. If they had an open tryout, what's funny to me about Invincible, I know I'm going off topic. If it's funny to me about Invincible, is that's exactly what an open trial would look like. Some average athlete would wow people because they're going up against some dude that can barely run.
Yeah.
That's exactly what an open trial would look like.
Oh, he's like not... The players aren't there. It's just open trial. So it's people who like can't.
Yeah.
They just went just to go.
I don't know how recently you've seen. Yeah, I don't know how recently you've seen Invincible. Like they're like drinking beer waiting to get into the stadium.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of like after he's made the team and he's like switching his pads.
Yeah,
to
you don't make it past the first cut.
Right.
You don't make it past the first cut.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No. Any other? Oh, what about Jeremy Banks started getting praise from his. Maybe the guy he's going to be playing next to in Henry To'oTo'o.
Maybe. I mean, I think that's a good group, and I think the staff really likes what they have with those 3 guys because they've already moved a guy to outside linebacker.
Who's that?
J.J. Peterson.
They did move him. That's just adding depth. Because I guess could he start there this year?
I don't know. I mean,
I guess he could.
Yeah, I mean, it's unproven, and I feel like that's probably an easier position for him to just like see ball, get ball.
Yeah.
Inside linebacker, you have to worry about coverages a lot more. So I'm sure that has something to do with it. Just let him go be athletic.
Right.
And go get a
You're not giving up as much.
Right.
Interesting. That'd be interesting.
But I mean,
that's an interesting position to look at. I thought
there's not a ton of depth at inside linebacker.
No, I thought they'd move Jeremy Banks potentially to outside linebacker.
I think we talked about that could be a possibility.
Just because I thought they'd want to start him with Crouch and To'oTo'o. I mean, but I imagine they do not want to get into a situation where they've got pretty much Batuli and To'oTo'o in for every single defensive snap.
Right.
I gotta imagine that.
Yeah.
So that having Banks there helps a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see who emerges. I think it would be Crouch.
Yeah.
But hey, if it's Jeremy Banks, no one's going to be mad. And we're 33 days away.
33. Jeremy Banks days away.
Yep.
God, I'm so happy he's back. I'm pretty relieved that he's back.
Did you notice like the roster stuff?
I don't think I did.
So Jameer Johnson, who was like when he signed, he was like 265. Maybe
they've added some weight on them,
but he's 300, and like he carries like it. He doesn't look like a 300-pound guy when you see him like in regular clothes.
Right.
But the fact that he's 300 and be able to keep on that weight, that's huge.
Yeah,
to have some depth, and he might win a job.
The difference, the Jeremy Pruitt, and I mean, you got to give credit to the weight staff. Trying to think of the guy that left this year, Craig Fitzgerald. You got to give credit to what they did in just a short amount of time. That turnaround with the weight program. I mean, it's come a long way. There's probably some guys that maybe have hit their ceiling, but they've come a long way from where they were just a couple years ago.
Absolutely.
It's nice to see.
Yep.
We're not.
And speaking of that, in the training staff as well, Austin Pope is on track to be back week 1.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yes, credit to the training staff, but I don't even know if that's. I think it's just about the culture. That's culture.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody want to talk about injury. I think we talked about this when Butch Jones was coach. When you get to week 7, everyone in the SEC is banged up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you tough enough? Do you want to play enough to play through some of the injuries you have? It's just part of football. It's part of any sport. No one's healthy mid-season in any sport.
Yeah. Do you have the guys that want to go out there and play banged up?
And have you taken care of the injuries that you can take care of? I mean, there's always going to be the unfortunate ones, the knee injuries or, the high ankle sprains that are going to nag you that are just tough. Those are always going to happen. The concussions nowadays, like, it's going to happen. But there's the ones that your ankle is going to be sore. It's a part of playing a sport. Your back, your shoulders are probably going to, especially depending on what position you play in football, are going to be banged up. Are we talking about a dislocated shoulder or is it, sore? What are we talking about? And I think that's fixed a lot since Butch Jones has been here.
Yep.
The culture is better. You don't enjoy your time off under Jeremy Pruitt from what we've heard.
No, you do not. Nope. But getting Austin Pope back would be huge.
That could be monumental to what this offense is able to do.
Yeah, because I'm sure when he went down, they're like, oh, crap. Because I think they led the SEC in 2 tight end sets last season.
Wow, I didn't even know we had 2 tight ends on the roster.
But yeah, like that was they led the SEC in that. So when their number one guy, the guy with the most experience, goes down, that I'm sure they were scrambling like, oh crap,
yeah,
we got to find somebody immediately.
I mean,
but hey,
probably,
you might get them back. So if you're able to get some guys ready to be able to play, and then you get him back, that's just an added bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. Because is he a 4-year guy now? 4th year?
I think so.
Can't remember how old he is.
He's a redshirt junior, maybe.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, that would be great to have Austin Pope back. And I mean, that's just good that he's recovered from his injury that quickly, too. Or his surgery. Excuse me. That's always good to see. Anything else for football you want to touch on real quick? Because I do want to mention just some basketball. Rick Barnes met with the media today.
No, that's all I got. J.J. Peterson and Austin Pope, that was 2 of the big kind of news that I had.
Cool. Yeah, that's great news. Someone said I worry for our players' well-being against Florida. Just because it's late in the season. Florida's played a full season.
I'm worried about if we beat them, what our well-being would be.
I am too. I mean,
and for myself personally.
I mean, yeah, I guess you talk about a 10-game SEC schedule. That's tough, but the good news is Florida's got to play the same one. So that's the good news.
Yep.
But Rick Barnes met with the media today. Thing I thought he said interesting, that is astounding to me, but when you look at it, it makes sense. Tennessee could be redshirting a big man. Somebody in the post.
Urosh?
He just said that's a possibility. I don't know. He didn't say a name. I got to think it's Urosh.
Yeah, it would probably be who, like, between him or Kumar, who doesn't play.
Yeah, Kumar, yeah.
And that might mean Corey Walker has...
I got to think Corey Walker is going to be expected to make an immediate impact.
Yeah. Or Pember. Pember could.
Pember's plays in the wing. Pump the brakes.
But yeah, he's like 6'10", though. I mean, he's the same as John Fulkerson.
Don't you ever put that on John Fulkerson. Ever.
Well, are we going to forget that John Fulkerson could barely dribble a basketball like 2 years ago?
It's not that he could barely dribble a basketball. It's that he could barely walk. He's like baby deer status.
Yeah.
Baby giraffe status.
Yeah.
He could dribble and shoot. He almost beat UNC single-handedly.
So you said don't put it on John Fulkerson. Drew Pember can shoot and dribble a basketball.
He could never beat anyone single-handedly.
We'll see. To be determined.
Well, to be determined.
I think we're saying that same thing with John Fulkerson.
I would say the same thing about John Fulkerson right now if it was reversed. If roles were reversed.
Yeah.
And then also, Rick Barnes said that March Madness had to happen this year.
I agree. That's
too.
a lot of freaking money.
I think it's why you can't have spring football.
Yeah,
it's because March Madness has to happen. Like, logistically, I don't think spring football is possible because of that.
Because of TV deals?
TV deals, just, yeah. Timing, like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that goes into why spring football is a bad idea, but I would love for there to be a March Madness.
Yeah.
Because that sucks. It was
terrible. Yeah. It wasn't fun. I didn't get to lose any money. It sucked. Yeah. The good news is SEC's having fall football, so that's all we got to worry about.
Yeah, you didn't get to fill out a bracket when somebody didn't make a pick that you did. You called them an idiot, and then 2 days later the game happened and you lost, so you look like an idiot. Yeah,
exactly.
There's a lot of that didn't happen.
That's the one thing that will forever piss me off about March Madness is that children picking them are usually better than, like,
me.
Yeah, but like the average basketball fan.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah.
Then let's talk about Tennessee's X factor. Okay.
So kind of how I went with it, and you might have went a different direction, is just somebody who, like, you're going to get like this from all the other players. But this guy, if he's able to take the next step in his development, he can win you, say, 2 or 3 other games.
I kind of did the same thing.
Okay.
I think the only thing I would say I changed is like this dude this is who you need to take the next step and to be that guy that he can change the pace and the tone of any game.
Okay.
If he takes that next step, and Tennessee kind of needs him to, especially in a 10-game season, 10-game SEC season. Did you do offense and defense? Is that what you did?
I can. I just had defense, but I can
That's
throw an
fine.
offensive
That's
one.
fine. I did offense for probably my main one.
Okay.
And that guy, it's funny you mentioned it. You mentioned his Heisman candidacy. And I think if you had Eric Gray with anything close to a Heisman candidacy top year, Tennessee would win a lot more football games.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because the best teams, yeah, they have 1-2 punches, or they have a second running back that can be impactful, but they also have star running backs. Outside of it, I guess LSU this year. But I mean, even then, they had a guy that was, he was good enough to, and he did it pretty much single-handedly. They weren't running it to the 2 guy that much. But you need Eric Gray to take that next step to provide you a run game and pass support. And if he takes his next step, Tennessee will be a very, very good football team that will be very difficult to stop offensively. Because I think you're going to find a quarterback.
And I think that builds confidence around the whole offense if you're able to run the ball.
Yeah.
It helps your quarterback. It helps your offensive line. It helps your receivers. It helps everything if you're able to run the football.
And when you can run the ball really well, you usually keep your defense on the sidelines a little bit longer, which usually helps your defense.
Yep.
Time of possession usually tells you how good defenses are.
Yep, drive the ball. So mine is an outside linebacker. It's just a position that we don't have a ton of depth at, and I think it's a question mark just because you lose your best pass rusher from last year in Gerald Taylor. It's got to be Kivett Bennett. He's got to take that next step. He had 2 tackles in 2018. He had 27 last year. He had 6 tackles for loss and 2 sacks. So he needs to probably triple all those stats. And Gerald Taylor, he wasn't very consistent, but he was consistent enough where teams had to account for where he was on the field at all times. So Kivett Bennett has to be that guy. He's got to be disruptive, and I think that helps your defense. God, I think your defense is probably, as a whole, one of the best in the SEC if you're able to get a solid pass rush.
Right.
With your defensive backs, they're all veterans. With who you got at inside linebacker, your defensive line a year ago was, a big surprise. They're only going to get better. I think Jimmy Brumbaugh is going to do a great job with that group. So, Kivett Bennett.
Yeah, I like it.
You're the X factor. If you have 7 sacks this season, I think Tennessee will
be a much better defensive team.
Yep. I think that's maybe the difference between 4-6 and 6-4. A pass rush.
Might be. It'd help a lot too to have a good pass rush against South Carolina. All they have right now is Holinski.
Yep.
So it would change that game drastically.
Yeah,
to have a
Marshawn
good pass
Lloyd
rush.
is done for the season.
Unfortunately, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
I guess it's good for Tennessee, but it sucks.
Yeah.
You don't wish that on anybody.
Right. But it's weird. He didn't even have to get on the kneeling turf to.
Right. That's what everybody says. I mean, I guess here's a question: does Georgia's turf just suck that much that they're not used to good turf like Neyland's?
You mean South Carolina?
Well, it's Georgia running backs who get hurt there all the time.
Right. Well, what's his name?
Lattimore got hurt at South Carolina.
He got hurt at South Carolina?
That was at South Carolina.
Gotcha. So maybe it's just a Tennessee thing.
Exactly. That was the nastiest injury I've ever seen in my
That's
entire
gross.
life.
Yeah.
In my entire life. I saw it in real time, and everyone was like, rewind it. What happened? I was like, please don't rewind it.
Yeah. No.
Please don't. And they did.
I just ate buffalo chicken dip, and I don't want to see it again.
At least that buffalo chicken dip. I want to see more buffalo chicken dip.
I want to see
Just
more
not
on
the
my
one
plate, not just that I already consumed.
Yeah, not the one that I've already eaten. Exactly. Camp Mays. Oh, what happened? Camp Mays, it said something like, looks like he would have been here if not for Butch Jones. Yeah. I mean, that's fact. That's not
I mean, that's
argue
what
about.
sucks about the
Cade
Mays
Mays,
thing.
excuse me.
I mean, why does it matter if they didn't?
Why is that a factor? What the other team says.
Yeah.
What team's going to approve that?
Yeah. What team is going to be like, yep,
Also,
you're good?
if that was the difference, and if it was, I can't remember where he transferred from, but the dude that transferred like Virginia Tech last year to be closer to his mom, or was it transferred to like Indiana or something like that? Something like that to transfer to be closer to his mom, and was ruled ineligible, and she was sick. If it was because of his other team said they didn't approve, F the NCAA, F that other team, F everybody involved.
Yeah,
that's the dumbest thing ever.
It kind of reminds me when I go to Taco Bell and they're like, fill out this survey to tell them how good I did. I'm like, I just waited in line for 30 minutes.
Yeah, do you really want that?
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll do it, but I'm not.
Credit to Taco Bell though, they're not going to take her in. They're not going to take her consideration. Like they don't care. You're gonna wait 30 minutes the next time too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they just want a good one.
Exactly. It's the NCAA is the dumbest organization of all time. It makes no sense. And yes, first off, now that they ruled that this year doesn't count, there's not going to be any NCAA championships. Cade May should play, period. Even if he transferred here because he wanted to and he was a 4-year starter at Georgia, blah, blah, blah. No, flipping birds and you play this year.
Yeah, exactly. Period. Yeah, it should not matter in the least, but hey.
Whatever. High school football's back.
Yeah, just roll them out there.
Do it. Roll them out there.
What are they going to do?
Cancel the season? They pretty much already did. Just the SEC's playing.
Yeah.
SEC, ACC, Big 12.
What are they going to say? He can't play out of conference games?
Yeah, exactly. Who cares? He's ineligible next year. He's on the draft.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah, that's fine.
You forfeit those games. They don't count.
They should make a deal like that. We'll just play conference only this year, and next year he'll be suspended.
Exactly. That's fine, man.
Yep.
That's cool, man. High school football, though. It's back. It felt good. It was a good Friday. Good Saturday and
Friday.
Friday.
It was good to actually go to a game.
Yeah, it was. I told Emily, said I got to go to a game because this might be the only one. So, might be the only game I get to see in person this year, so I got to go.
Yeah. So we went.
But right now, it looks like week 2's happening.
For now. Yeah.
I won't be going to Gibbs.
Grace.
Won't be going to Grace.
Well, apparently they wanted to play at South Louisville because Grace can only give like 15 away tickets.
With all the logistics, though, changing a game like that now would be tough.
Oh, yeah. And like, no one's going to give away a home game.
Oh, so South Louisville wanted to move it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's a lot of logistics to work out in a week.
No, it's not going to happen.
No. High school football. What? Any games impress you? Any games stand out to you?
The Powell Beach game was really good.
It was a good game.
So Beach went up. I think they were down 2 scores. Went up with like a minute 20 something left, and Powell drove down and scored with 5 seconds left. So
left them a little too much time.
Yeah, too much time.
A little too much. But I mean, for Beach to play with, Powell should be pretty solid this year. I think they questioned their quarterback. He's got his first start under his belt. But
I think they were pretty impressed with him.
I think everyone knew. Yeah, they ended up being very impressed with him. But I think everyone knew where Powell was kind of going to stand as they came into the year. And then obviously you get a great game from your quarterback and a phenomenal ending.
Yeah,
holy crap.
There were some games that I was like, man, I want to see that. Webb and Austin East was one of those games. I just thought that was an interesting matchup, but Webb just freaking whooped.
I think Webb's going to be pretty solid this year. I think they're going to be a force in Division II.
Yeah, they were. I was impressed because I figured like Austin East always have athletes.
They did have a coaching change this year.
Yeah, so I don't know how good they were going to be, but I just thought that was 2 interesting teams matching up against one another. Who else? Oak Ridge and Hardin Valley. Man. Oak Ridge is good.
Yeah, I want to know what it'll be interesting to see where Hardin Valley stands in the coming weeks, but Oak Ridge, they're the real deal.
Their running back is. That was the first time I've like really paid attention to him because he got that Tennessee offer. Kendall Jackson is a name everybody needs to keep an eye on.
Yeah,
because he is the real deal.
Yep, absolutely. Thursday night too. The Halls and Gibbs game was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
A lot of good games in this area.
Do you know there's a game Saturday? College football.
Is there?
Austin P and Central Arkansas play.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I might watch.
Just tune in.
I might be watching that game. Austin P. Is it gonna be on TV? I might just stream it. We'll stream it.
Yeah,
we'll make it work.
Interesting. Some other guys that Tennessee fans need to keep an eye on. So Brentwood played Nolensville. Walker Merrill had 2 touchdowns.
Okay, nice.
They won 47-12. I think they're supposed to be a force.
Yeah.
I think they're in 6A, right?
Brentwood?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
And then I forget who Christian Brothers played, but they won.
They won big, didn't they?
Dallin Hayden.
Yeah, he went off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So legacy guy, he is part of that 2022 class. Son of former Vol running back Aaron Hayden, had 3 touchdowns and I think 230 yards. And he's doing that touchdowns like for tackling literacy.
Yeah, for a cause or whatever.
And so they've raised $9,756 as of earlier today.
Oh, nice.
So
How
each touchdown. So his goal was 17. So it's based off 17. So each touchdown would be worth $591.29. He scored 3 on Friday.
Oh, so that's just his money that he's raised, $9,000.
Yes.
Almost $10,000.
Yes.
Dang. So how does that? Do people pledge a certain amount of money towards like each touchdown? Is like a walkathon kind of deal? Or are they just?
I think it's based on 17 touchdowns. Is this?
Oh, okay. So if he scores 17, they'll raise $9,000, almost $10,000.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Gotcha.
Um.
So all in all, people pledged
so
$570 towards.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I got you. Do you have any? I want to talk about high school football more. I wish we could. Maybe we will a little bit on Wednesday. We do have a time limit tonight because, like I said, Alexis Hornbuckle up on Unfiltered. So make sure you kind of hang along with Volunteer Roadshow on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, wherever you're at. There's going to be another show right after this. So make sure you hang around for that. Do you have anything else for high school football or any questions?
Catholic plays Trinity.
Yeah.
Christian school. So Deion Sanders' team is coming up from Cedar Hill, Texas.
Did you offer him your backyard yet for practice?
I should have.
Okay.
I didn't get on it fast enough. I think Farragut was the first one to be like, come here, please.
I don't think he ever DM'd him because I saw like 3 more tweets where like, hey, please DM us.
Yeah. Maybe he found I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm sure Catholic would just
Lakeway offered him. Lakeway Christian offered
Oh,
him.
really?
Yeah, and I'm like, that's where I'd be going.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, so there's supposed to play this Friday night. That'll be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I'd definitely be. If I can't watch it, I'll be listening to it. They have their games on 99.
Because his son's a 4-star quarterback.
Okay.
He's committed to FAU, and so yeah, little Sanders Martin action.
Nice.
Like that. So.
Yeah. Let's run through most important and fail real quick if you got them.
Okay. Most important, it was going to be the Dallin Hayden thing. I also want to mention my cousin got his first interception, Hunter Simpson for South Louisville the other night, so I do want to mention that because I told him I would. So.
They said it was tipped. I don't think it was tipped. I think the quarterback just got
hit.
Annihilated.
Yeah, he got hit.
That poor quarterback. He hung in there.
Yeah,
Fulton's quarterback hung in there.
I was proud of the kid. Big brother moment. I stood up and yelled. I got hoarse after Friday.
I've got one. I've got his name is Rocco Figurati. I don't know how to say his name.
Oh, that's good.
But
Italian guy.
4-year-old Italian kid.
Ooh.
4-year-old hit a hole in one. 4 years old, 57 yards, I think.
57 yards.
55-yard hole. He's 4, Landon. Give him a break.
That's weak.
And hit a hole in one.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm pretty jealous. And the kid does what I would have done and ran down from the tee box to get this ball to the hole. The only thing I would have done different is gotten naked.
Full nudity. It'd be weird if you did it. It probably wouldn't be that weird if the kid did it. I mean, it's weird, but it's not like, oh, he's 4. But it's like, oh, he's 25. That's strange.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
So my next one is Alcoa. I forgot to mention this. Alcoa played Blackman and beat them the other night, and their defense allowed 22 total yards. 6A Blackman.
I was going to say Blackman 6A.
Had 22 yards.
Alcoa doesn't play anybody, though.
Right.
Alcoa, nobody will schedule Alcoa is the issue.
Yeah. Alcoa would win in every division. I think 6A, they'd be a top 3 team probably.
Yeah.
Year in and year out, but they'd beat everybody else.
Right. My fail is John Plumlee. He for the quarterback for Ole Miss sent a message that was asking everybody not to go out and go to bars, and someone tweeted back and said, "Bro, weren't you at Funky's just the other day?" Which I guess is a bar in Ole Miss.
Yeah, that's not good.
Don't go to the bars so we can, and so we can play football. Please.
Yeah, my fail is Max Zoe said no linebacker in Florida can stick with him. He's a running back, and Terrence Lewis stopped him.
Yeah.
In his tracks.
We got to talk about that more on Wednesday.
Yeah, we will.
I got a few things to mention about that.
Then Paul George, 25% from the field in 3 straight games.
He's struggling.
They're calling him Pandemic P.
Didn't he say he was playoff Paul or something like that?
Yeah, now it's Pandemic P.
Guys, thank you all so much for listening. We do got to run. Sorry for the short episode, but good news, 2 shows. We'll also have our show will be back on Wednesday. We appreciate you guys. We will see you on Wednesday night.
We're bringing the boat in.